Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. We recently did a Ben Simmons video roughly 2 weeks ago. And in that video, we were basically talking about the possibility of him being willing to sit out the remainder of the season if the Philadelphia 76ers decided not to trade him. I believe what we're seeing from him is a result of what happens when older men or men baby young guys. This is what happens when you baby guys and you don't tell them the truth. I've been saying it for months now. On this channel, we don't baby guys, and it's something that rubs people the wrong way. And some people, what do you mean by baby? Meaning we don't. You're not being straightforward. If somebody, for instance, if I have something on my face and I have a friend around me and he's not willing to tell me the truth, like, bro, you got something in your face, take. Then that's not a real friend. You need people that are willing to tell you the truth. And if an older guy tells you the truth, he's not hating all the time, right? Because what is happening is that some guys are afraid of any type of criticism, and basically you can't have an opinion on them. So which means that if your dad or your uncle or your older brother or your older cousin or your friend has something critical to say about you, all of a sudden they're hating. And what does that mean? It creates a scenario in which no one is allowed to tell you the truth. You can only listen to things if they're positive. Initially, Ben Simmons said he would not be willing to return to the team, and some guys out there try to make excuses for him. They spent more time focusing on what his head coach and his teammate Joel Embiid had to say about him during the postgame when the Philadelphia Sixers lost to the Atlanta Hawks in Game 6. They wanted to spend time focusing on that instead of focusing on the fact of how terrible he had been playing in the playoffs prior to Game 6. He was terrible in the playoffs. No one wanted to focus on that. No one wanted to focus on the fact that the fact that he went into that game and stunk up the joint was because he has not been improving. No one wanted to, some of these guys didn't want to focus on that. They wanted to focus on what the coach said, as if that was the larger issue. And I said, doing that would lead to a total fiasco, and that is exactly what has happened, because now I believe Ben Simmons feels justified in his stance. Because there's no way I'm going to come back to a team when they said that about me. There's no way I'm going to come back and stay in this house after dad just told me off. I just can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. I can't live in this house anymore. My dad just told me off. Or my older brother just told me like it is. I can't be around these people anymore. They hate me. I can't be. That is essentially what is happening. This guy decided that he is going to pout. And now that the situation is degenerated to the point where it's a total fiasco. Thankfully, we have some people on TV, like Charles Barkley, like Shaquille O'Neal, that are still willing to call it like it is. And today I stumbled upon a clip featuring Shaquille O'Neal on NBA on TNT, and he basically told it like it is, and I loved it. So for those of you who missed Shaq's comments on the Ben Simmons situation, take a listen to what he had to say on the heels of the Philadelphia 76ers victory against the Los Angeles Lakers last night. Take a listen to what Shaq had to say here.
What he's supposed to do is he's dominating. I stay on big guys because I care about them. I want them to play a certain way. I want them to play at a certain level. Difference between him and his soft partner is he could take criticism without being a crybaby, and he still wants to play. Because me and Charles, we've been on him. We stay on him. We tell him to his face what he needs to do. He didn't cry. He didn't say I want to be traded. He didn't, complain about mistreatment. And that's the difference. That's why I like and respect him. The other guy I don't respect. I've been thinking about it. You're missing the whole season because they asked your coach a question, can we win without you? And your coach gave a funny answer. That should tell you need to get in the summertime and work on your game. You don't think I haven't been criticized by you guys and Stephen A? You don't think I haven't been criticized by LA media, New York media? Great players get criticized, but the great players also step up to the criticism and perform. So this other guy, I don't respect him. I would get rid of him.
I have to say, I agree with 100% of what Shaq said. And hopefully one day we'll be able to bring him on our show to talk about basketball and other, basketball related issues, because I love the fact that this guy is a straight shooter. Shaq strikes me as a person that's a no nonsense, no excuses type of guy. Some people may say it's his upbringing, because some people spoke, I think he had a military background growing up, whatever it is. I love that about him. Shaq is a no nonsense, no excuses type of guy. And I like that about him. We need more of that. It's actually refreshing. And I like the fact that he used the example of Joel Embiid to substantiate his point, or to accentuate his point that he was trying to make about Ben Simmons. He said, and we all remember, Shaq, Charles Barkley, these guys were critical about Joel Embiid's game, his lack of, him not being dominant enough, him not taking advantage of his size and all of these different things. They criticized him. And what did Joel Embiid do? He internalized all of those critiques and simply got better. That's all he did. And now it seems as if all of those critiques that Shaq and these guys were making, it actually seems that it's actually strengthened the relationship between Joel Embiid and Shaq. Why? Because what did Shaq and Charles Barkley have to gain? Seriously, what did they have to gain from criticizing Joel Embiid? They gained nothing. They were already going to get paid. These guys are under contract. It's not like they're getting paid from a show-to-show basis. These guys are already under contract, so they're already going to make their money. They're already rich anyway. I think that they were just trying to give an honest critique on him, and he internalized it and he performed. But if you look at Ben Simmons, on the other hand, essentially, he just took his ball and ran away. He said, I'm done. I can't deal with these guys. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. This is the fact of the matter. Some people don't like it, but I'm going to say it. Ben Simmons is one of the laziest, let me repeat that. He is one of the laziest basketball players to ever come through the NBA with that level of raw talent. They've been lazy players. They've been lazy players, but with that level of raw talent, he is one of the laziest that you're ever going to see. If you look at Ben Simmons' career trajectory, Ben Simmons essentially has plateaued. If you go look at his numbers, he's pretty much the same person. The last time we saw him on the court, he was averaging 14 points per game, getting 7.2 rebounds and 6.9 assists. Go look at his percentages. Go look at his free throw shooting. Y'all know that Ben Simmons is about a 50% free throw shooter for his career and also in the playoffs. Do you know Ben Simmons for the playoffs, for his entire playoff career, he's shooting 0%? Do y'all know that? Do y'all know that? What does that have to do with what Doc Rivers or what Joel Embiid had to say? What does it have to do with him? What does that have to do with them? You're telling me that the reason that you underperformed is because of what the coaches said, instead of the fact that you have not been improving as a player and therefore you weren't able to help your team when they needed you most in the playoffs. That's someone else's fault at the end of all of that. That's going to be your takeaway? That you understood that instead of I need to work on my game, I just went out there and embarrassed myself. That's not the takeaway. The takeaway is I don't like what these guys said about me and I don't want to be here anymore. So what happens when you get to another location and a coach and a teammate has something critical to say about what are you going to do? Pack your bags and head to the next place? Are you kidding me? If you juxtapose Ben Simmons to a player I like to compare him to a lot is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Both of these guys came into the NBA with a lot of raw talent. Go look at Giannis's numbers. Over the last 4 years, Giannis has arguably had a Hall of Fame career. 2 regular season MVPs, a Finals MVP, a Defensive Player of the Year, all NBA defensive teams, all NBA teams. This guy has actually had a Hall of Fame career just over the last 4 years. Go look at the trajectory of Giannis's career. Giannis, some like to say, can't shoot, but look how he's improved his basketball game since he's gotten into the NBA. And go look at Ben Simmons. Then look at some contemporary players that we have in the NBA right now. Look at players like Lonzo Ball. Y'all remember Lonzo Ball, who they said he couldn't shoot. He had broken mechanics. Go look at Lonzo Ball now. Look how he's improved his shooting. Look at Brandon Ingram. Look at Kawhi Leonard. Look at Paul George. Look at Ja Morant. Ja Morant has been in the NBA for 3 years, and this guy's already showing signs of improvement. But when you have Ben Simmons, this guy has not been improving. And I like the fact that Shaq is calling it like it is. He is saying essentially what needs to be said. And I love it. We need that. We need that. And I love it. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about the comments that Shaq said? And also, what do you think about this Ben Simmons situation? Do you think he's justified in holding out from these guys? Y'all saw yesterday in the game when Carmelo Anthony and one of the Philadelphia 76ers, you saw them dudes one backing down. There was this one white dude at the end where he was standing. He jumped up like as if was good. And I was like, yo, Carmelo Anthony ain't no, you know what I'm saying? So it seems as if he must be afraid of that Philly crowd. Maybe that's the reason, because those guys look like they ain't playing around. I've been to Philadelphia one time. I've never been to a Philadelphia game, but I heard those Philly fans, they don't mess around. So what I want to know is, what do you think about Shaq's comments? What do you think about my comments? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.